Hey guys, Titanium Turbo Ranger back with a magnificent review of the brand new 2010 re-release of the Mighty Morphin Power Ranger action figures. I found these at a Walmart this morning when I was out searching for RPM Ranger Silver, and I got all of these guys because I only had enough money for Tommy, but then I was so excited I knew I had to come back, so I put Trini and Kimberly behind a shelf so that nobody else would buy them. And lucky enough, they were still there when I got back. And then the only other Rangers left on the shelf were Zach, Jason, and Billy, the three that I didn't have, plus the auxiliary figures of Alpha 5, a Putty Patroller, and Goldar. So my mom told me that she'd buy, I'll buy you two, Michael. I'll just buy you two. Okay, whatever. These two, that's great. The woman goes and buys every single one of them for me. Which is unusual because my mom's all like, "Oh, you're 17, or you're too old for this," but I don't care. My whole entire figure collection, all this crap, is worth so much money. Oh my god. So anyway, I have these new toys. They're great. I just did a review on Alpha 5, the Putty Patroller, and Goldar. I'm gonna make them separate because I've done so many takes of these already. Because I've had them since like 3 o'clock, and it is now 9:57. And I've been trying to review them. Some of the reviews were so long and they were put together. I'm like, I'd have to make a three-parter. I don't like it when I have to do separate reviews because I don't know how many views of that video I have. Because part 1 will have 10 views, and part 2 has 1,000 views, and then part 3 has 500 views. It's weird. Anyway, let's go ahead and start going over the Rangers. Let's go ahead and start with Kimberly. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful figures. Beautiful. Very nice paint detailing. If you'll pay attention to that power morpher, that little tiny power morpher has 4 colors on it. Gold in the center, red around that because of the stickers that say Power Rangers. Then the morpher itself is silver, and it has a black backdrop. Beautifully done. Look at the paint detailing on the bottom of her skirt. It goes all the way around. Same with the belt and the diamonds on their chest. They're on the back as well. Look, little 2 tiny eyes on the top of her helmet there. Beautifully done figures. Beautifully done. Very well painted. As you can see, every Ranger comes with a blade blaster except for Tommy and their power weapon. Also, the girls have very well done heels. They're painted to look like heels, but they're not actually split heels like the RPM toys, so that way they can stand so much better. It's just the girls, you have to get their exact angle up because they're very curvy, to say in the least, if you can see what I mean by that. Gigantic boobs and gigantic butts. Here is Trini. Yet again, that beautiful power morpher. Notice how they didn't add a skirt to her because in the Japanese version it was a guy, but in our version it was a girl, so it was just a girl without a skirt in a costume like this. There are her 2 little power daggers. Power blaster, obviously. Same heel design as pink. Beautifully done. Look at that nice helmet. I'd say that her helmet isn't as well detailed as the other ones, but then again, there's not much to her helmet. There's, I think, only 3 different colors on it, and they hit it on the dot, so hers just is not exciting at all. Alright, let's go ahead to Zach. Beautiful morpher detailing again. Nice paint that goes all the way around. Blade blaster on his belt there. I also don't like how they did that. The one thing I don't really dig too much, but I can understand on this would be the fact that they don't have a holster for their blade blaster. They have just this little peg system like the RPM toys, and that's sort of the way it worked on the RPM toys. The little guns on their belts in RPM didn't have a holster. They just kind of swiveled onto their belts and stuff. So I can understand that just fine, but I really would have liked the holster on these, but they're only 4 inches big. The rumors are true. But they're beautifully done. Beautifully done. They're so well painted. It is amazing. Let's go ahead to Billy. The one thing I don't like about Billy's weapon is the power lance does not split in half, which upsets me a little bit because I like the fact that you can split it in half and have it as like a staff, and As you guys can see, he has a beautifully painted power morpher again. Yet again, the blade blaster, beautiful painting all the way around. And look at the little silver lines around his visor on his helmet. That is beautiful. That is really well done detailing right there. Beautifully done. Nice little eyes on the Triceratops head on this helmet. They're beautifully done. I keep saying that because it's just they're amazing. I was expecting these little 4-inch piece of crap, and I was upset. I was like, I'll get them anyway, of course. Why wouldn't I? I can't say no to Mighty Morphin, but I was not expecting this. I really wasn't. I was expecting a little tiny piece of crap with no painting on it, and I got so much more than I thought I would. Here is Jason. That beautiful morpher detailing again. His nice little power sword. You can actually see the Triceratops head. See that in the center there? You can actually see the power coins in their power weapons. And of course, the last and my favorite, Tommy. Remember, his morpher is just gold. He does not have the silver or the red on there. Well, he should have a little bit of the red on there, but that's fine. You can see, if you look at his dragon dagger, you can see the dragon foot in the center there. You cannot hang his dragon dagger off of his belt. One thing that's kind of sucks about him, but also very well done, well painted all the way around. I would like to let you guys know that there is this beautiful set that they still had. When I went there, they had nothing else. They had all their RPM stuff still out, all their little battleized figures and Megazords. All they had was these figures. That's all that they had. They did not have Megazords out or Morphers or anything when I went. They just had these figures out this morning. Okay, fine. That works for me. And they had just these guys in individual sets on a shelf, and then they had a box set. And the box set contains Kimberly, Jason, Billy, Lord Zed, and then Tommy as the Green Ranger. So, what's with that set? I don't know, because Lord Zed is a Season 2 figure. Do not get that set. Do not. If you are a serious Ranger fan and you really like the way these figures look, do not get that, because I looked at it and it was 5 figures for 14 something. I was like, that's sort of a nice savings, but they do not put as much paint into it. The morphers are all painted a solid color silver. If you look at Tommy here, Tommy has these little tiny things right here. I don't know. These like little bands that attach his armor. Those were left green. His morpher was left green. The white around his visor, all left green. It's like, oh yeah, we'll cheapen it out for you, but we'll really make the figures look like crap in addition to that. So, okay, like I said in my other review, the power weapons do not combine to the power blaster. Instead, when you buy the Putty Patroller, you get an already combined power blaster. So you can't pretend. Sorry. Major complaint with the weapons is that when you first get them, when they're in the packaging, they're all bent. Very severely in some cases. This one was kind of bent up. I'd say the worst was the power sword, which is now nice and straight thanks to me. As the dragon dagger was, which is now decently straight, and the bow is still a little bit curvy. Whoops. If you look at the bow, it's not exactly straight. It's still a little bit curved up here and there. So, yeah, but these guys like to fall. They like to commit suicide. They're beautiful figures. Let me introduce the gimmick for exactly what else you get with every single Ranger is you get this little. It's called the Dino Glider, and the Dino Glider is very reminiscent of the Pterazord. As you can tell, the wings are almost spot on, exactly the same as the actual Pink Ranger Zord. They all look exactly the same gold color, except for the stripe on the back. This is Tommy's, and I left the other ones in the packaging because there's no reason to take them out because it's all the same. And just whatever Ranger it is, if it's Jason, it'll be red. If it's Zack, it'll be black, so on and so forth. And there's just a little hole in the back there, and you can attach the Dino Glider and make it look like a wings. And then the other gimmick is that you get these battle claws. These battle claws are all the same color. There's no other color besides gold. These battle claws can go on the bottom of their feet, or they can be placed in their hands to fight as another weapon, or you can just go ahead and attach them to the back of this. decoration. The Dino Glider can also come off and be used as a figure stand. So if they're having issues committing suicide or something like mine, you can go ahead and peg their feet into it, and then you can pose them doing a type of kick or something, and you won't have to worry about them falling over. So a lot of people have been complaining about the Dino Glider. I personally like them because that's exactly what I use them for, as a figure stand. You also have a beautiful light right there for no reason. Beautifully painted figures, great articulation. They didn't slack on the back or anything, so even though they're so much smaller compared to other figures, they are beautifully done. And they are a 10 out of 10, no doubt. Pick them up if you see them. They went down $1.25 in price from the original $6.99